Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for the first week of the November month. In this video a total of 60 MCQ will be discussed of utmost importance that will be benefiting you in your competitive exams. Also students, if you are new to our channel and haven't subscribed to us, do subscribe as we are one-stop solution for current affairs.
Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find our Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will be getting daily, weekly and monthly current affairs on regular basis. You can use code VIKAS10 to get additional 10% discount while purchasing the course. This video is available both in English and Hindi. The timestamp for both English and Hindi are mentioned in the description of each video. You can contact us on the number provided or mail provided. Also follow us on Telegram and Instagram, and the link for the same is provided in the description of each video. Also students, we have started a new initiative that is of handwritten notes. It is helpful to understand the news daily, time saving and very useful for your revision. We aims to cover 15 questions via handwritten notes in upcoming bank exams. These handwritten notes are available on daily current affairs content PDF at our mobile application and website careerscloud.in. Only our Crack Current Affairs subscribers will be able to access these handwritten notes. A sample PDF of the handwritten notes will be available in the description.
Let's start with the content. First is, where was the 31st edition of the joint Singapore-India Maritime Bilateral Exercise by the name SIMBEX was conducted. Location is being asked of SIMBEX. So SIMBEX was held in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. This was the 31st edition of this exercise held between India and Singapore. This exercise was held in two phases, that is the sea phase and harbour phase, and in this INS Shivalik took part. Earlier this exercise was known as Exercise Lion King in 1994, but then it was changed to SIMBEX. Next, which country has recently joined the Asian Development Bank as its 69th member country? So it is Israel that became the member of Asian Development Bank, and it is the 69th member country to do so. Next, who among the following were recently awarded the Sakharov Prize for Freedom of Thought 2024 by European Parliament along with Edmundo Gonzalez? So remember, first thing, that this Sakharov Prize is given by European Parliament, and who was honored with this Sakharov Prize? So Maria Corina Machado was honored with Sakharov Prize, and this Sakharov Prize is basically for the freedom of thought, right, that promotes fundamental rights, right, and equality. Next, who has been recently selected to be inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame Chess of 2025? So who has been elected here? Name that person who has been elected into the International Tennis Hall of Fame. So among the following, here remember Maria Sharapova, right, along with Bryan brothers were also inducted here. Who are the two Bryan brothers? Bob Bryan and Mike Bryan. Next, who was recently appointed as the National Ambassador for Cyber Safety by the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center to promote cyber safety? So Rashmika Mandhana, right, she was appointed as the National Ambassador for Cyber Safety by the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center. And this I4C, this comes under which ministry? It comes under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Next, name the 7th vessel in the anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft series that was recently launched by the Indian Navy at L&T in Tamil Nadu. So 7th vessel we are talking about. So 7th is Abhay. Correct? Take a note of this. Which was the 5th and which was the 6th? 5th was Agre, 6th was Akshay, 7th is Abhay. Next, how many sports will feature in the 23rd edition of the Commonwealth Games scheduled to be held in Glasgow, Scotland? So a total of 10 sports will be featuring here, right? Wrestling, badminton, hockey, cricket and shooting, these are the sports that have been dropped from this 23rd edition of the Commonwealth Games. Next, when is the UN Day annually observed across the globe to commemorate the day the UN Charter entered into a force in 1947? So it is 24th of October. We observe this day as UN Day, that is United Nations Day. And this year in 2024, we observed the 79th anniversary of the UN Day. The theme for this is building a better future together. Next, where was the second National Lighthouse Festival? I repeat, National Lighthouse Festival in India celebrated, that to the second edition of it. It was held in Puri, Odisha, and it was held on 19th of October. It began with Lighthouse Tourism Conclave 2024 hosted by Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterways. And this National Lighthouse Festival is observed in order to basically increase tourism, right? Next is who has recently launched international incoming spoofed call prevention system to block spoofed international calls. So Jyotiraditya Scindia ji has launched this international incoming spoofed call prevention system to block spoofed international calls, basically in order to prevent scams, so that these scammers cannot call on the random people's number from anywhere in the world, right? Because most of the scam calls are coming from outside India. Next, which country has the largest number of people living in poverty in the world with 234 million people? So as per the recent report 2024 of the Global Multidimensional Poverty Index. So this was the 2024 Global Multidimensional Poverty Index that has been released here, and in this, which country has the largest number of people living in poverty? It is our country, India. India has the largest number of people who are living in poverty. That is close to 1.1 billion people. Also, if we talk about this only, as per the report, India with 234 million people. This is, we are talking about the global data, right? India 234 million people have the largest number of people who are living in poverty. If we talk about Pakistan, it is 93 million, and globally it is close to 1.1 billion people. Out of 6.1 billion people total, 1.1 billion people are living in poverty. Next is, which state has recently received $241.3 million loan from Asian Development Bank to enhance the power distribution in the state? So it is West Bengal state, right? They have received $241.3 million loan from Asian Development Bank to enhance their power distribution. Next, who has recently named the male International Shooting Sport Federation Athlete of the Year at the ISSF World Cup final opening ceremony in New Delhi? So male International Shooting Sport Federation Athlete of the Year, so Liu Yukun, right? So Liu Yukun from China has been named as the male, right? And who has been named as the female? This is your, okay, let me give you only. Female is Yang Jin from South Korea has been named as the female International Shooting Sport Federation Athlete of the Year 2024. Next, when is World Polio Day annually observed across the globe? So World Polio Day is observed on 24th of October across the globe to create awareness about polio, its treatment and everything. First World Polio Day was observed in the year 2002. Next, when is National Ayurveda Day observed across India to create awareness about the role of Ayurveda? So when is National Ayurveda Day observed? It is 29th of October. We observe National Ayurveda Day, and it is to create awareness about the role of Ayurveda and in the prevention and treatment of wide range of the health issues. National Ayurveda Day observed on 29th of October. Right? Next. Correct. National Ayurveda Day in 2024 is on the 29th of October, because this day, National Ayurveda Day, is observed on Dhanvantri Jayanti or Dhanteras, that is the festival of Dhanvantri. Next, who has been recently appointed as the new president of the ICC, that is Indian Chamber of Commerce? So Abhyuday Jindal. Abhyuday Jindal has been appointed as the new president of the ICC, International Chamber of Commerce. Next, who has recently created history by becoming the first Indian artist to be featured on the cover of Billboard, Canada? So, Diljit Dosanjh, right? He created history by becoming the first Indian artist to be featured on the cover of the Billboard in Canada. Next, which country has recently hosted the 19th International Conference of Drug Regulatory Authorities in collaboration with the World Health Organization? So it is our India. The conference was held from 14th of October till 18th of October. What is the location? That is Yashobhumi. Yashobhumi is your India International Convention Center, that is in New Delhi. Next, which country hosted the 16th edition of BRICS Summit from 22nd to 23rd of October in 2024? It is Russia, and Russian President Vladimir Putin hosted the 16th edition of BRICS Summit from 22nd to 23rd of October. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi took part here, and during this BRICS Summit, an interesting and important declaration was signed, that is your Kazan Declaration. Can you tell me in the comment section? This is your homework. What is this Kazan Declaration? We have discussed this multiple times, and Kazan is the location in Russia where this summit was held. So hence Kazan Declaration. You tell me in the homework section that what was this Kazan Declaration, because we have discussed this multiple times. Next, what is the total number of entities in the Reserve Bank of India alert list after adding 13 more firms in the list in October 2024? So, the total number of entities is 80 in the RBI's RBI alert list. Next, who was recently declared as the 6th president of Botswana? So, Duma Boko has been appointed as the 6th president of Botswana. Next, which company has recently signed a binding agreement to acquire 46.8% stake of Orient Cement Limited for an equity value of 8100 crore rupees? So this will be your Ambuja Cements Limited, right? They have signed a binding agreement that will be acquiring 46.8% of the Orient Cement Limited for an equity value of 8100 crore rupees, and this marks Ambuja Cement's 4th acquisition since its promoter change and the 3rd acquisition of the FY24. ACL Ambuja Cement Limited, they will acquire 395.4 rupees per share of the shareholders of OCL. Next, who has recently secured a silver medal in the women's recurve event at the Slakala 2024 Hyundai Archery World Cup final held in Mexico? Right, so who secured the silver medal in the women's curve event? So Deepika Kumari, Indian Deepika Kumari, she secured the silver medal here. Who won the gold medal? Gold medal was won by Li Jianmen of China. Right, and this was the 18th edition of the Archery World Cup that was hosted by World Archery. Next, who will be the next chairman of the Walt Disney Corporation in January 2025? So James Gorman will be the next chairman of Walt Disney. Next, name the project that was launched by the Union Minister Rajiv Ranjan Singh worth $25 million to strengthen the animal health security in India. So what is the name of that project? It is Pandemic Fund Project. Right, he has also launched the 21st livestock census that will be conducted till Feb 2025 at a cost of 200 crore rupees. So two things. First, he launched a project worth $25 million, right? That is Pandemic Fund Project. And second thing is the 21st livestock census was launched by him. Next, which ministry has recently launched Gram Panchayat Level Weather Forecasting Initiative in collaboration with India Meteorological Department to provide daily weather updates to Gram Panchayats? So it is Ministry of Panchayati Raj, right? They have launched the Gram Panchayat Level Weather Forecasting Initiative in collaboration with India Meteorological Department that will be providing daily weather updates to Gram Panchayat. And this is the first time that localized weather forecast will be available at the Gram Panchayat level. Next, Ministry of Finance, they have raised the limit of Mudra loan amount under the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana from current 10 lakh rupees to dash under the new Tarun Plus category. So, they have launched they have raised the limit of Mudra loan under this Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana from the current of 10 lakh rupees to 20 lakh rupees under the new Tarun Plus category, and it will be effective from 24th of October 2024. Next, what is the age limit of central government pensioners who are eligible for an additional pension as recently stated by the Ministry of Personal Public Grievances and Pensions? So the age limit here is 80. Next, India and Pakistan, they have recently renewed their agreement on Kartarpur corridor that has been extended until what? So it was ending in 2024. Now it has been extended for 5 more years, that is till 2029. So right option is option 4. Kartarpur corridor, basically it provides visa free access to the Indian Sikhs pilgrims who wants to visit the Gurdwara Darbar Sahib that is in Kartarpur, Pakistan. Next, according to the recent reports released by UNESCO Institute for Statistics on World Education Statistics, India has spent nearly how much percent of their GDP on education between 2015 and 2024? India has spent close to 4.1 to 4.6% of the GDP on education between 2015 to 2024. Next, which state has recently received a loan of $434.25 million by Asian Development Bank to boost the renewable energy sector? It is Assam state that received the loan worth $434.25 million by Asian Development Bank, and that will be boosting their renewable energy sector capacity. Next, which hockey player has recently announced retirement? So Rani Ramphal has recently announced retirement. Also, she was honored with Padma Shri in 2020, Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratan Award in 2020. Also she received the Arjuna Award in 2016, and she received World Games Athlete of the Year title in 2019.
Next, when is National Unity Day or Rashtriya Ekta Divas observed in India? So it is 31st of October we observe National Unity Day. This is observed on the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, also known as the Iron Man of India. Correct, take a note of this. And this year in 2024 on 31st of October, we observed 149th birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And also remember, the first edition of National Unity Day was observed in 2014. Next is which state has recently become the first state in India to introduce foundation literacy and numeracy training for grade 1 and grade 2 teachers in the government schools. So it is Andhra Pradesh state that has introduced this foundational training, and also this program will involve 34,000 teachers across the state that will be going through this training. Next, which organization has recently approved the corporate agent license for FREO? So it is IRDAI, that is Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, that has approved the corporate agent license for FREO. Next, who has recently won the Global Anti-Racism Championship Award 2024 in Washington DC, USA? So Urmila Chaudhary, right? She has won the Global Anti-Racism Championship Award 2024 in Washington DC, USA. Urmila Chaudhary, she's an abolitionist, right, and labor activist who was rescued from child servitude at the age of 17, and she has honored for her dedication to advancing the rights to the marginalized caste. Next, who has recently unveiled the statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel at the Census Building in New Delhi? So right option is Amit Shah, right? And we know that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, right, he is also known as the Iron Man of India. Also, an app has been launched here, that is the CRS mobile application, that will allow the citizens to register the death and birth at any time from any place and in any language, that is the official language of the state. Next, which company has recently launched Srijan, that is Center for Generative AI at IIT Jodhpur in collaboration with India AI? So it is Meta platform, right? They have recently launched this Srijan, that is the Center of Excellence for Generative AI, that will be at IIT Jodhpur. Next, which award will be replaced by Arjuna Award with effect from 2024? So Dhyan Chand Lifetime Achievement Award will be replacing Arjuna Award, Lifetime Achievement Award. Correct? Next, which state has the highest share in direct tax revenue in FY24? According to the recent report, how tax simplification has given a necessary fillip to ITR filing by State Bank of India. So it is Maharashtra state, and Maharashtra state, they have retained the top position of almost 38.9% share, whereas Karnataka contributed 11.9% on the second position, and Delhi fell to the third place with 10.4% in the ITR filing. Next, according to recently released report 2024 Global Nature Conservation Index, India has ranked what among 180 countries across the world? India has ranked 176th among the 180 countries across the world. Right? Take a note of that. Luxembourg, it secured the first position. Estonia secured the second position. Denmark secured the third position. Also, consider China here. China, though it is the second largest economy in the world, it stood at 164th position, and our India was on the 176th position. Then next is, which organization has recently mandated the NBFCs to ensure at least 25% of their borrowing they come from the capital market instrument. So this decision has been given by RBI. Next, which bank has recently approved loan worth 300 million euro to fund the Bengaluru suburban railway project in Bengaluru, Karnataka? So 300 million euros given by European Investment Bank, that is EIB. This 300 million euros, this is approximately 2800 crore rupees. In this suburban railway, it will be 149 kilometers that will be developed. 4 dedicated rail corridors will be there. 58 plus railway stations and 2 depots will be established. Next, who has been recently awarded the Harry Messel Award for the conservation leadership by IUCN in Abu Dhabi, UAE? So who has been recently awarded? Bibab Talukdar. He has been honored with this Harry Messel Award. This award basically recognitions for the wildlife conservation effort. Wildlife conservation efforts. Correct? And also to protect biodiversity in India. Bibab Talukdar, right, for his contribution was awarded the Harry Messel Award. Next, Padma Shri awardee and chairman of Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister, Bibak Debroy, has been passed away. And question asked here is that in which field he was honored with Padma Shri in 2016. Remember this also, that Bibak Debroy, who recently passed away, he was honored with Padma Shri in 2015, and he was honored with this in the field of literature and education. Next, which state has recently celebrated the World Gibbon Day? So it is the Assam state that has observed this World Gibbon Day. This is a 2-day event organized by the state, and this day basically, or we can say this in Assam also, right, Barekuri village observed it. Correct? Next is, according to recently released report, WJP Rule of Law Index was released, and World Justice Project, that is WJP Rule of Law, according to them, this is the organization that released it. Question asked is that WJP Rule of Law Index, in this what is the rank of India? So India stands at 79th position among 142 countries across the world in this World Justice Project Rule of Law Index. And this was the this rule of law globally, it has declined for the 7th consecutive time in almost all countries. Which is the country that secured the top position here? It is Denmark that secured the top position, followed by Norway and Finland on the 3rd position. Next, which country has hosted the 27th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting from 24th to 26th of October? It is Samoa that hosted the 27th Commonwealth Heads of the Government meeting. The theme for this meeting was One Resilient Common Future, Transforming Our Common Wealth. Next, SEBI has recently allowed Indian mutual funds that they can invest in the overseas mutual funds or unit trust that shall, but the amount of money that they will be investing there should not exceed 25% of their net assets. Next, UAE, they have committed nearly how much amount to establish food parks in India to bolster food security for the UAE. So UAE, they have committed nearly $2 billion to establish food parks in India. This will be helping the farmers in India to grow their income. Next thing, one more remember, UPI will be now partnering with AANI. AANI is the instant payment network of UAE. Also, this will be helping the Indians that are living in UAE. Next, which bank has recently released the report how tax simplification has given a necessary fillip to ITR filing by stating that income disparity in India is reduced by 74.2% between FY14 to FY23. So which bank has released this report? It was released by State Bank of India. It is their ERD, that is Economic Research Development. They have released this EcoRap report in which this data was released. Next, who has recently been awarded the honorary officer of the Order of Fiji by Republic of Fiji? So Sri Ravi Shankar, he was honored with the honorary office of the Order of Fiji. Right, this is the highest humanitarian civilian award of the government of Fiji. That is your Republic of Fiji, and it was honored to Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar ji. Next, which company has recently developed an innovative handheld anti-drone gun by the name Vajra Shot? So it is Big Bang Boom Solutions, right? This is a startup, and this is startup based out of Chennai, Tamil Nadu. They have developed this handheld anti-drone gun Vajra Shot, and this Vajra Shot has been deployed in Indian Army and Indian Air Force. It can kill a drone or make the drone useless within a range of 4 kilometers. Next, name the former judge of Karnataka High Court and key petitioner in the right to privacy matter who passed away in October 2024. So KS Puttuswamy, right? He is the former judge of Karnataka High Court and key petitioner in the right to privacy who recently passed away. Next is, in which city India first proposed built the AI data center that has recently been launched? So it is in Indore, Madhya Pradesh, where India's first purpose-built AI data center will be launched. This landmark facility will house an 60,000 GPUs. 80 megawatt of power will be consumed by this, and also variety of job opportunities will be coming up in this, right, in this data center. Next, when is the 200th anniversary of Kittur Vijotsava celebrated? So 23rd of October is the 200th anniversary of the Kittur Vijotsava that was recently celebrated. Also, a commemorative postage stamp was released to honor this. So that's all for the day, students. Now let's move to some revision current affairs that will be benefiting in your learning. Before further moving ahead to our main content, let's revise some important current affairs. Let's start with appointments and resignation. Government has given additional charge of Rashtriya Ispat Nigam Limited, that is RINL, correct the position of chairman and managing director to whom? To Ajit Kumar Saxena. Then Aarti Sarin became the first woman to take over as the Director General of Armed Force Medical Services. Ram Singh, Sogata Bhattacharya, Nagesh Kumar, they have been appointed as the new MPC members, that is Monetary Policy Committee members. Then RBI has appointed Aviral Jain as the new Executive Director. Prakash Man Singh Roth has been appointed as the new Chief Justice of Nepal. Now let's move to some important days. First is 1st of October, that is observed as International Day of Older Person, and here you can see the theme. 1st of October is also observed as International Coffee Day with the theme Coffee, Your Daily Ritual, Our Shared Journey. 2nd of October observed as Mahatma Gandhi and Lal Bahadur Shastri birth anniversary. 4th of October observed as Animal Welfare Day with the theme The World is Their Home Too. 4th of October observed as World Space Week with the theme Space and Climate Change. 5th of October observed as World Teachers Day with the theme Valuing Teacher Voices Towards a New Social Contract for Education. 6th of October as World Cerebral Palsy Day with the theme Uniquely CP, that is your cerebral palsy. Then 8th of October as that is the first Friday of October, and this time it was 8th October. It is observed as World Smile Day, that is do an act of kindness that makes you smile. 3 Chinese astronauts, they have entered the space station, that is your Tiangong space station, that is of China. Then 18-year-old Nepal's Nima Rinji Sherpa has conquered the world's 14th highest peaks. Then 352nd governing body meeting of International Labour Organization was held, or it is currently underway, in Geneva. Then Asian Development Bank, they have launched an action plan to boost the disaster resilience in Asia and Pacific region. Then Henley Passport Index 2024 was released, and our country India is at 83rd position in this index, and this is taught by Singapore. Then External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has inaugurated India's new consulate in Brisbane. Then South Africa, they have launched a trusted tour operator scheme to boost the tourism from India to South Africa. Next is banking and financials. Geo Financial Service, they have launched Smart Gold for digital gold purchase. Then Tata Power Renewable and IndusInd Bank, they have partnered for financing solar projects in India. CCI, they have approved the Fortis Healthcare's acquisition of additional 31.52% stake in Agilus Diagnostics. Then GST, that is a good and service tax, has recorded second highest collection at 87 lakh crore rupees in October. Then NSE, they have launched mobile application and website in 8 additional languages. SBI Mutual Fund became the first to surpass 10 lakh crore asset under management, outpacing ICICI and HDFC. Then Punjab and Sindh Bank, they have launched e-bank guarantee facility. SEBI, they have proposed 30-day deadline for mutual fund deployment of new fund offer proceeds. Next, name the bilateral naval exercise between India and France that was held in Mediterranean Sea from 2nd to 4th of September 2024. So what is the name of that bilateral exercise? The exercise is Exercise Varuna. Right? Then this exercise Varuna, it is the 22nd edition of this exercise held between India and France. Take a note of this. Right? And in this, from Indian side, INS Tabar took part in this exercise. Next, name the aerospace company that has recently achieved the successful maiden flight of the India's first indigenous unmanned bomber aircraft, that is FWD-200B. So what is the name of that company? That is Flying Wedge Defense and Aerospace. This aircraft is classified as a medium altitude long endurance, that is MALE unmanned aerial vehicle, and it has a wingspan of 5 meters and a length of 3.5 meters. It can fly at a cruising speed of 152 km per hour with a maximum speed of almost 250 km per hour. Next is in September, India successfully launched Agni 4 missile from the integrated test range in Chandipur, Odisha. That is Agni 4. It belongs to which type of missile? So this Agni 4, this is a intercontinental ballistic missile, and it was India that has successfully tested this Agni 4 missile from the ITR in Chandipur, Odisha. This Agni 4, this is a surface to surface ballistic missile that has a range of 4,000 kilometers. Next, which shipbuilding company has recently launched two indigenously designed and constructed anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft named the INS Malpe and INS Mulki? So which is that shipbuilding company? It is Cochin Shipyard Limited that has developed this 4th and 5th of the 8 anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft project. 4th is INS Malpe and the 5th is INS Mulki. Next, name the military exercise between India and USA that has recently commenced at the Foreign Training Node in Rajasthan. What is the name of that exercise? The exercise is Yudh Abhyas, right? And it will run till 22nd of September 2024. This is the 19th edition of this Yudh Abhyas exercise held in Alaska, USA, right? I repeat, this the 19th edition. I repeat, one more thing, correction here. The 19th edition of Yudh Abhyas was held in Alaska, USA. But this time, this is the 20th edition of this exercise that we are talking about that was held where in Rajasthan. Next, which defense company has recently signed a contract worth 26,000 crore rupees with the Ministry of Defense for the procurement of 240 AL-31FP aero engines for Sukhoi 30 Mark 1 aircraft of the Indian Air Force? So which is the defense company? It is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Next, name the country where Indian Navy's P-8I aircraft recently reached to participate in the 16th edition of exercise Kakandu. So what is the country where Indian Navy's aircraft reached? It is Australia, right? Then in this exercise, more than 3,000 personals over 32 nations took part. Next is name the missile that the Indian Navy and DRDO successfully tested in flight from the launchpad of the ITR in Chandipur of the coast of Odisha. What is the name of that missile? That is VLSRSCM, that is Vertical Launch Short Range Surface to Air Missile. Next is name the joint exercise that was recently conducted between Indian Air Force and Royal Oman Air Force in Oman. What is the name of that exercise? The exercise is Eastern Bridge. And this bilateral exercise began on 11th of September and it will end on 22nd of September. Also remember the 5th edition of Al Naja exercise held between Indian Army and Royal Army of Oman. Right, so air exercise is Eastern Bridge and the exercise between the armies is Al Naja. Next, Ministry of Defence, they approved the Indian Navy's 2500 crore rupees plan to develop what? It was to develop the extra large unmanned underwater vessel. The vessels are expected to strengthen India's defence against enemy submarines and surface vessels. Next, which city has recently hosted the Indian Defence Aviation Expo, that is IDAX 2024? So it is Jodhpur, Rajasthan, where this Jodhpur, Rajasthan, that is Jodhpur is the city where it hosted the Indian Defence Aviation Expo 2024. Also, Tarang Shakti exercise was concluded here. Tarang Shakti is one of the largest India's first multinational air exercise hosted by our Indian Air Force. Next, name the state-of-the-art Kalvari submarine escape training facility that was recently commissioned by the Indian Navy at INS Satwana in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. So, recently, what is the name of that facility? It is Vinitra. Next is students, science and technology. Which company has recently launched Sentinel-2C satellite aboard last Vega rocket for environmental monitoring? The name of the company is Ariana Space. This satellite, it will serve as the Earth observation satellite for the European Union, which will provide important data for the environmental, correct, or we can say important data for the environment monitoring. Next, name the India's first space station which will be launched by 2028 by ISRO. So India's space station, it is Bharatiya Antariksh Space Station, and the entire setup will have 5 modules. First module will be launched in 2028 and it is expected by 2035 India will have our own space station. Next, which company has recently announced plans to set up India's first multi-sensor all-weather high revisit Earth observation satellite constellation? What is the name of that organization? It is Naib Space Private Limited. Right, it aims to promote India's defense and space capabilities that will promote self-reliance in the defense sector. And also you will be seeing with this in the coming 5 to 6 year 40 low earth orbit satellites will have, or the constellation will have 40 to 50 satellites here in the next 5 to 6 years. Next, name the SpaceX crew mission that has recently led by an American billionaire entrepreneur Jared Isaacman returned to Earth following the successful completion of the world's first private spacewalk. So who did the first private spacewalk? Jared Isaacman. Right, he led this mission and it is the mission of spacewalk. Question asked here is that what is the name of that SpaceX crew mission? So the mission's name is Polaris Dawn. Next, which country has recently launched the Chandrayaan-1 research satellite into orbit by QM-100 satellite carrier? So this both Chandrayaan-1 satellite and QM-100 satellite carrier, it is of Iran. Right, this Chandrayaan-1 satellite, it weighs around 60 kilograms and it is designed to test the hardware and software for orbital maneuver technology. Which bank has recently partnered with Swift to launch an artificial intelligence driven pilot to help combat payments and frauds occurring in the cross-border payments? So it is which bank? The bank is Axis Bank, right? Axis Bank partnered with Swift. Now what is Swift? Swift is Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. This AI driven pilot project is expected to provide a very secure infrastructure that will allow the financial institutions to exchange important information along with privacy preserving models. Next, Government of India and World Bank, they have recently signed how much amount agreement to construct the Green National Highway Corridor project. So
Government of India, they have recently partnered with World Bank and have signed an agreement worth $500 million, and this is basically to deploy or to make safe and green highways. Safe and green highways. Right? Take a note of this. Next, which Indian firm has recently partnered with Vested Finance to offer access to global investing for Indians and NRIs? So, in order to give access to or access or invest in India to access it, global options, global sectors, global markets, it is HDFC Securities, right? They have partnered with Vested Finance to offer global investing options to Indians and NRIs. Next, which type of cooperative banks are covered under the RBI's revised instructions on bad and doubtful debt reserve to ensure uniformity? So, which type of cooperative banks are covered? It is urban cooperative bank and state cooperative banks. These two cooperative banks are covered under the revised instructions on bad and doubtful debt reserve to ensure uniformity. Right? And these revised instructions, they will act as a one-time measure to provide rectification and smooth transactions to an AS compliant approach. Next, with which organization did Thomas Cook India's limited partner to launch the Rupee AED Forex card for Indian travelers visiting UAE? So, with which organization did Thomas Cook India Limited partner to launch this Rupee AED card? So, which is that organization? NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. And this innovative Made in India initiative is a first of its kind partnership with any Indian non-banking entity. Next, SEBI directed Dash to value their investments in the 81 bonds issued by bank on yield to call basis. So, SEBI, they have directed which organization? They have directed the mutual funds to value their investment into 81 bonds issued by banks on the yield to call basis. These 81 bonds, these bonds are known as the perpetual debt instruments, which are issued by the banks to raise money and to build up their core equity capital. This yield to call, YTC, right? It is the expected return percentage by the investor. Next, Reserve Bank of India issued master directions on the treatment of willful defaulters and large defaulters to scrutinize all NPA accounts that have outstanding amounts of how much? That have an outstanding amount of 25 lakh rupees or above. Right? This will set up a transparent and non-discriminatory framework that will allow the willful defaulters and also disseminate the credit card information about the willful defaulters to the caution lenders against further financing to them, so that the people who organizations that are financing such defaulters, that thing cannot happen and more money cannot go to them because they are not even paying the money that they borrowed earlier. Next, which organization has recently entered into a bancassurance partnership with HSBC India for distribution of non-life insurance product? So, which organization entered into a bancassurance? Bancassurance is when a bank and when an insurance company partners together and the insurance company sells the insurance product to the customers of bank. So it is SBI General Insurance Company that has signed this bancassurance with HSBC India. Next, which company has recently received the certificate of registration from RBI for NBFC Investment and Credit Company? So, which company has recently received this certificate? It is L&T Finance Limited, right? Take a note of this. Next, which bank has recently partnered with Setu, owned by Pine Labs, to introduce India's first UPI focused payment platforms named UPI Setu? So, which bank has partnered with Setu here? Name that bank. Which is that bank that partnered with Setu? It is Axis Bank that has partnered with Setu, right? And it will facilitate various UPI products such as third-party validation service, EMIs, UPI autopay, QR code payments, and so on. Next, which company has recently received India's first small and medium real estate investment trust license from SEBI? So, which is that organization? It is Property Share. Right? It received the license under the name of Property Share Investment Trust, and Property Share is the investment manager to PSIT. Next, which insurance company has partnered with PhonePe to provide instant term insurance to their customers? It is which organization? It is AGA's Federal Life Insurance Company, and they became the first insurance in the industry to offer instant term insurance through PhonePe platform. The users can select an amount ranging from 5 lakh rupees to 25 lakh rupees and make monthly or yearly payments that are beginning at 5,000 rupees per year. Next, which bank has recently introduced Primus, that is an ultra premium credit card in partnership with Visa? So this Primus has been introduced by which bank? It is Axis Bank that introduced this Primus. And this was also Axis Bank. They have also launched the second edition of Spurs Week 2024. Next is which organization or bank has recently allowed the FPIs to invest in sovereign green bonds at International Financial Service Center in Gujarat? So it is RBI, Reserve Bank of India, right? So they have allowed the foreign portfolio investors to invest in the sovereign green bonds. Sovereign green bonds are basically when you invest in the green projects, right? And the money collected through these bonds will be invested in the green projects, right? Next, similarly, there are sovereign gold bonds. That is the amount when you invest in gold, and a fixed return of 2.5% per annum annually is given to you. Next, who will be the Chief Executive Officer of newly incorporated NPCI Bhim Service Limited? So, who he will be? Lalita Natraj will be the new Chief Executive Officer of NPCI Bhim Service Limited. Right? This Bhim, this is a wholly owned subsidiary of NPCI. Next, name the rural fintech startup that has recently received the non-banking finance company license. So what is the name of that rural fintech? It is Jai Kisan. Right? This NBFC license will enable the Jai Kisan company to offer customized financial products including loan from their portfolio to farmers as well as rural businessmen. Next, which mutual fund has recently launched India's first ever Nifty Top 10 Equal Weight Index Fund? So which mutual fund it is? It is Discipline Science and Process Mutual Fund. Next, which company has recently received RBI's approval for the conversion into NBFC ICC from NBFC Core Investment Company? Which is that? Which company? It is Tata Capital Limited. Next, which bank has recently introduced a special edition of Vijay Fixed Deposit to celebrate India's 78th Independence Day? So, which bank has introduced this Vijay Fixed Deposit? It was introduced by RBL Bank. And this is a special 500-day tenure fixed deposit that is below for 3 crore rupees that offers 8.85% for super senior citizens, 8.6% for senior citizens and 8.1% for regular customers.
Next is who has recently inaugurated the 5G Open RAN testing lab at the Center for Development of Telematics, that is CDOT in Bengaluru, Karnataka. So Jyotiraditya Scindia, right? He's our Union Minister of Communication and he has inaugurated this 5G Open RAN testing lab that is at CDOT facility in Bengaluru, Karnataka. This lab will help us to establish 5G use cases, right? That how we can use this 5G technology, how we can set up the ecosystem of 5G in our country. Here we will be talking about cloud. Here we will be talking about security, right? In these features, you will be seeing the usage of this 5G, right? Take a note of this. Next, who has headed the recently formed expert committee to discuss reviewing Ayushman Bharat package rates and insurance coverage increase? So Dr. V.K. Paul. right? The expert committee here is headed by Dr. V.K. Paul, and he's a member of Niti Aayog, and this committee will discuss the recommendations for revising the Ayushman Bharat package rates and insurance cover increases, right? There are nearly 1949 medical procedures that are covered under the schemes of Ayushman Bharat, and this committee, this 16-member committee that is headed by Dr. V.K. Paul, has been tasked to review these revisions that are these services, these medical procedures and the insurance coverage under this Ayushman Bharat. And also it is expected that the 5 lakh rupees limit or insurance under this per family per member will be increased here more in coming time. Next, which ministry has organized the third edition of the World Food India from 19th to 22nd September in New Delhi? So, which ministry has organized the third edition of the World Food India? It is Ministry of Food Processing Industries, right? So this is the third edition of the Ministry of, or this is the third edition of the World Food India. That is a biennial mega food event that is organized by Ministry of Food Processing Industries, and it was held from 19 to 22nd of September. Where was it held? Location, it was held at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi, and the aim of this World Food India is basically to innovate, come up with new technology, focus on sustainability in the food processing sector. Then there is a theme for this third edition of World Food India, that is processing for prosperity, right? This is the theme. Processing for prosperity is the theme for the World Food India. Next, which department or ministry implements Make in India program which completes a decade in September 2024? So it is Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, correct? And it is Make in India, the flagship scheme of the Government of India that has completed 10 years of its completion. PM Modi launched this Make in India when it was launched in 2014 in September month by Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi. This was launched, and as the name suggests, Make in India, here the focus was to manufacture the goods in India only that we used to import from different parts of the world, and we wanted to become self-sustainable so that we don't have to depend on other nations for various goods and services. Right, take a note of this. Here you will be seeing PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan has played a very important role. Production linked incentive scheme has played a very important role. Then FDI also increased in India, that also played a very important and crucial role for this Make in India. Next, which company has recently received the approval from Ministry of Corporate Affairs to establish a joint venture named Aero Systems Private Limited in collaboration with Israel Aerospace Industries Limited? So it is Bharat Electronics Limited, that is BEL. They have recently received the approval from Ministry of Corporate Affairs to set up a joint venture by the name Aero Systems Private Limited in collaboration with IAI, that is Israel Aerospace Industries Limited. Here Bharat Electronics Limited, they will hold 40% in this joint venture, and IAI, they will be holding 60% in this joint venture. This joint venture will operate both in India and Israel, and this joint venture will provide repair and maintenance for medium range surface to air missile systems. I repeat, for medium range surface to air missile systems. Next, with which country India has recently signed 12 memorandum of understandings for high impact community development projects? So it is with Nepal that India has signed 12 MOUs for high impact community development projects. These will include your projects related to health, education, then drinking water, agriculture, promoting the culture, renewable energy, solar energy, and so on. Next, according to RBI recent report, that is the dominance of fossil fuel in India, electricity generation will end by 2030. It is saying that by 2030, we know that as of now, the electricity generation is primarily because with the use of coal. And it is saying that by 2030, the sole or primary dependence for generation of electricity in India, that is on fossil fuel, that is on coal, will be reduced, that will end. Here you will be seeing that by 2030, renewable energy is expected to surpass 50% of the global electricity generation. And you will be seeing that renewable energy capacity, because we know that all the projects nowadays are coming related to your renewable energy, green energy, right? So major focus is on that, and it is expected by 2030 that the major source of electricity generation will not be fossil fuel in India. Next, who has been recently awarded the 2024 Sastra Ramanujan Prize by Shanmuga Art, Science, Technology and Research Academy, that is Shastra Academy. So Alexander Dunn, right, he has been awarded the 2024 Sastra Ramanujan Prize by Shanmuga Art, Science, Technology and Research Academy. Where is this academy? It is in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Oh, sorry, this is in Thanjavur, Tamil Nadu. Next, which company has recently signed a contract with the Royal Armed Forces of the Kingdom of Morocco to locally manufacture 150 wheeled armored platform combat vehicles for Moroccan Defense Forces? And this is one of the biggest contract. The delivery here will be in the next 3 years, and it is Tata Advanced Systems Limited. I repeat, Tata Advanced Systems Limited, they have signed the contract with Royal Armed Forces of the Kingdom of Morocco to locally manufacture this 150 wheeled armored platform combat vehicles. Right? These wheel armored platform combat vehicles, they have been designed by and developed by DRDO in collaboration with Tata Motors. Next, what is the name of the temporary mini moon which will revolve around Earth from 29th of September till 25th of November? So the name of the temporary moon is 2024 PT5. This is also known as mini moon, right? This will revolve in a horseshoe shape and it will be revolving 55 days. Next, which state recently signed an MOU with Karnataka to address wildlife and forest management challenges? It is Andhra Pradesh state. They have signed this MOU with Karnataka state in order to address the wildlife and forest management challenges. Both of these states, they will establish a joint task force where they will be working on wildlife conservation, protection, that will also prevent the illegal activities such as your poaching and forest degradation. Next, who has been recently reappointed as the non-executive chairman of Utkarsh Small Finance Bank? So Praveen Kumar Gupta has been reappointed as the non-executive chairman of Utkarsh Small Finance Bank. Direct question. Next, which ministry has recently organized the 8th edition of the India Water Week from 17th to 20th of September in New Delhi? So it is Ministry of Jal Shakti that has organized the 8th edition of India Water Week. Where was this organized? Location? Bharat Mandapam, that is in New Delhi. And there is a theme for this that you can remember: partnership and cooperation for inclusive water development and management.